Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you an update to the Kriel Space Station. Just to let you know, too, I did get this to the workshop. If you haven't seen it, the final name came to Kovex Imperial Light Carrier. Um, I just made that name up, so it doesn't mean anything. I was having trouble with name scheming, but anyway, this is on the workshop, and as far as I know, it's bug free. I haven't seen any comments saying there's any issues with it. I looked it over pretty good. Made sure it had O2 this time, unlike the Ascension when I first released it. The only patch I did was right after release. I realized I forgot to label all the storage bays and things in it. But yeah, it is complete. I decided to kind of do kind of a dual thing. I didn't want to ditch the mining option on here, but someone also suggested putting in a couple, putting the turrets back how it originally was. So what I ended up doing is inside of here, you have these little symbols for where you would place the mining drills. So there's instructions in here to remove the two turrets, and then remove some blocks this time. So right over here, you've got your two side mining drill locations, and then you remove these blocks forward, and then you place the 6 drills and slap in a harvest controller in one of the 8 regular controllers on there. So yeah, anyway, to the Kriel Station. Lots and lots of block work I have been doing. Some really, really crazy stuff. Uh, Even for me, I've never really built anything quite like this before. Um, I can't even explain what's going on here with blocks. It started out as in a, I think I showed this before, where I thought that the space station was getting too squatty. It was too round, got too tall, and I wanted to make this back area go out further. So I took a chunk of it, like 6 block row, and I copied in or cut and pasted that further back, and then I added in this area. But then I had to figure out how to get the block work below to match in with that. And a side effect too, when I copied and pasted, it had this kind of ripple on the bottom like this, and I actually liked that. I started to fill it all in, and it looked all boring. So then I kind of redid all the block work again in that section, and then carried that section on, moving forward into this area, and kind of see some of the craziness in blocks. This is almost like one of those little Star Trek things on the front of their ships there, a little bit kind of below the front of everything else here. Um, but yeah, this is kind of where it's at right now. Well, wait a minute, I didn't show a lot of this stuff yet. So what I've been working on now is tying in the last area. So I've got these Helios module bays, and I moved them around a little bit, and now have built a connector to them to mount up to the main base. And what I've got left over here is to get this area filled in. And it's coming along pretty good. I'm trying to keep it all slopey and roundy and stuff like that. So it's like layer or like block row at a time. I've been trying to like get in here and get this get this all like wrapped up a little bit better. I have to do a lot of work yet to the solar panel setups here. I did want to find a way to add some detail to the solar panels. Haven't really come up with a solid solution on that yet, so I'll keep on thinking about it. Let's see, what else has changed? These rear landing pads, I rebuilt these to second design. They're similar to that of the landing pads on the front of the station, but they're a different shape, and I do like the shape a lot better on the front than I do on the back. So I have a feeling I'm going to revise these landing gears again, just like I'm kind of revising these arms to properly dock a Helios module. I'm trying to get those a little bit better too. The bottom of these new landing pads have the same kind of block setup as the front landing pads on the bottom. And then I did this back area pretty funky. So this area got longer actually, so I actually took it and then moved it out even further back so I could get more of this sharper back section to the abdomen area of this. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, and oh, man, this is it's fun. This is a fun project to definitely do, but it's slow going. Just trying to get all these blocks and trying to get this stuff going on with multiple wedge angles in different directions in lots of places, and I'm still revising that. Like right now, I'm seeing a problem right here with a block. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that couldn't go down further, could it? Yeah, I'm trying to make it smooth but choppy. So it's really complicated, but it's kind of like I'm almost kind of learning a new potential way to build something out of this design. It's I mean, a lot of this, what I have got going on here, it was unexpected. I expected it a simpler design, similar to that of the Kriel Overseer or Bahama. It had an abdomen as well, but it was a lot more uniform. It was not so chaotic as what's going on here with the blocks. But I think, since I'm trying to make this look more organic, I really do think that this is a better approach to doing it than what I was doing in the past. It's more complicated though, because you kind of have to, I mean, there are some formations, like over here, this is a pretty straightforward section, but once it gets to the bottom side, all bets are off. It's complete block chaos, I would call it. But I think that's going to be kind of neat in the end. So taking a look at this from different angles, since it is longer now, I think that helps the overall dimensions of it. The biggest detraction I've got right now is something to do with these rear landing gear and those pieces there. It's like I need to dial that in a little bit better. I'm not exactly sure what design will look good here. I wanted the landing pads to be big enough to be useful. And this kind of does work, and the shape sort of matches that of the front landing pads. But it's like the only like real straight edges that I'm getting here. I mean, there are other straight edges. I guess this section over here looks a little straight for right now too. I have to fix that. And but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So side profile, it kind of looks like this. From the bottom, it looks very unique, like this. Yeah, it's in the top kind of still is to me looking a little bit like something you'd see in StarCraft floating around. One of the Zerg creatures of some origin. There's a lot of different Zerg creatures. So that is where I'm at. Now I've still got a huge amount of texturing to do and stuff, and then I'm really looking forward to getting into the inside on this one, because I have a feeling this is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be kind of fun work because, well, two different things. Obviously, I wanted to do like a POI out of this, and then also a player base. Now, one thing that I've been running into, I don't know, a design question about is the hull material. Now, right now, this is primarily made out of combat steel. That's great if it's a POI, but if you're going to spawn this in as a player base, it's going to cost a lot of resources. And I did want to get some like armored concrete in here in places too when I get into texturing it, and possibly a little bit of Xeno. It depends, I got to see how that Xeno's going to match and where it would look the best at, and I'll have to like get into the different material choices when I really start getting into texturing and trying to get like the final detail part of this going. But yeah, the backside, I didn't show what the backside looks like. The backside actually looks like it could be the front side too. It's just weird that way because of this sticking out like the way it is. And then I keep on thinking with the same block method, which is, now it's weird, it's choppy. Obviously, if you look at it close up, you see these big lines and stuff like that, but from a little bit of distance, it kind of fades in pretty nicely. And I just keep on thinking of the type of designs you could actually do, trying to do this kind of weird block style, because it allows you to do angles because of these the choppiness that don't necessarily are beyond 22.5 degrees basically, if you can deal with those cuts in the area. um, so you can shape things a little bit differently. Um, so yeah, that is pretty much where I'm at right now. Of course, I'm always looking for ideas and things like that. I got a lot of plans still yet on the body. I'm getting close to finishing up the bulk of the body though. As soon as I get this area done, which is a very tricky area, but I'll figure something out here. It's not beyond doing for sure. But if you got any ideas for like cosmetic things to add here, um, I would definitely appreciate it. Still in the building phase. I've got some issues, like there's certain things I'm not liking here, like what I've got going on with these blocks and stuff. But so I'll be cleaning up more stuff and trying to tweak out the body. I was thinking about like hanging some things down here, but um, and kind of like a little practice thing, I just started dangling like some blocks there, and I really didn't like the look of it. I thought I was gonna like the look of it until I put them there, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like that or not. Um, and of course, it would just add more material cost to the creation too. Now, interior wise, yeah, again, it's a big interior on here. It's not Leviathan big, but it is pretty big. It is definitely bigger than I believe all the space stations I've made to date. The largest technically is the Solaris station due to size class, but I would actually say the largest station is probably the first one I did, which is the Sentinel station. I think that one actually has the most amount of interior space in it. The Solaris does have a lot of interior space, but it is like a big open area where the Sentinel is cut up into a lot more separate rooms and things like that. It does have a big hangar area too. Not quite as big as the Solaris, I don't think, but it's close. So yeah, I just wanted to get this update out and show you where I'm at with all this stuff. And yeah, work continues on it. This is quite the long-term project. I would say just trying to get the body wrapped up is going to take a long time, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a good fitting station for the Kriel. It's got the Kriel characteristics. It's really exotic. Exactly what I wanted Krill to be. And it does take inspiration from, I don't know, deep sea creatures and things like that too. So it's got kind of all the characteristics I wanted for like something that is Krill. And for a space station as in its size, it would have a lot of room for players. If you're gonna dock a lot of stuff to it and do production stuff, and then you got the 2 module bays. Now, for the POI, I'll have to figure that out, I guess, when I get to it. It's one thing at a time. I keep on thinking of a lot of ideas for like interior space for POI that doesn't really jive necessarily with a player base. But I'll do the player base setup first, which will be simpler, and then from there, when get some energy up, I'll start working on a POI version of it, which I might blow away a lot of the some of the player areas. Well, we'll see how it goes. The POI, of course, I want it to be a challenge. I want you to be running in this thing on foot with a gun, trying to beat it, trying to shut down its core or whatever. So it could have a lot of weird corridors and places in it. I'll try to keep it as creepy as I can. And I also have to revise the lighting I've been doing for Kriel. Looking at older Kriel creations after they changed the lighting again. They're kind of dark to start with, but it made them really dark now. Too dark. Where it's like you almost need a flashlight to see where you're going. And yeah, I'll have to notch up the lighting in this creation to just generally brighter in places. Definitely to make sure you can see pretty good where I want you to see. That's a great thing about lighting. If you want to have something dark, don't put a light there. And darkness can look good too, especially if you mix in some texture lights with it. So there's a lot of ideas there. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. I do plan on sometime probably within the next week starting a combat SV as well. That would be for this month's Excalibur's challenge. And I wanted to build a combat SV for a little bit again anyway. So that'll be like a side project. Definitely a lot smaller project than what this one is. quite a bit smaller actually than what this one is. This thing took a lot more time than I thought it did, but then again, most creations have been taking more time than I thought they would. It's just when you really try to, I don't know, it can take a long time. I'm getting more and more picky as I go. Earlier creations, like I spawned in the old Sentinel station, and I just look at it, and it's just like, man, I see a lot of changes I've made throughout time building, and especially texturing. Texturing, I find texturing very, very important. It's quite time consuming, but it can really make or break a creation if it's textured nicely. So I like to put a lot of time into texturing. I try to make sure I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have like flaws on things. But the more picky you get, the longer it takes. That's for sure. Um, Anyway, y'all have yourself a good day. Hope you enjoyed this, and please let me know if you got any ideas as I'm still building this. I'll probably still be twiddling with the hull for at least the next week, and obviously doing a lot of texturing. I'm a little scared of that. It's not that I'm scared of it because it can't be done or anything. It's just going to take a long time. But you know, I've been through it before. The Supremacy was one of those just nasty long texturing jobs too, and so was and definitely the MCRN Leviathan. That was, whew. Uh, so I think this is sitting in around in current status. This is sitting in around size class 6. It looks like so. It's not as big a size class as I might have thought it would be with the amount of blocks that are already in this thing. Which I don't know how many blocks are in here. Does it say? Does it say? I'm just curious. Block count 8712. So how does that rate to something smaller like this? I've never actually looked at the block count on the creations. So block count 3597. Well, yeah. So yeah, obviously it's way bigger, but it has no insides and no detailed stuff. Well, yeah, it's gonna have a lot more. And I still gotta finish up these arms. That's one last thing I did do is I did take these top arms and I made them a little bit longer. Again trying to get the side dimension profile down a little bit better, and basically that involved a lot of stretching. So it's 2 stretches in the back area and a little bit of a stretch on the front area. And I think that's generally about the shape I wanted to achieve. The only real issue is these landing pads over here. I don't know if I like them. Again, after they're textured and they're set up to have like the same kind of texture light setup as the front landing pads, might look a lot different then. I'm just not sure on the shape. I just wanted them more uniform to the front and not the design I had, which was totally different than the front landing pads. All right, I will talk to you later.